know that we are conducting admissions to international engineering programs on August 17th. This has already gone on our website. If some of you haven't checked it, you can check it out. This is the latest announcement under admissions. And we are going to conduct admissions using this Zoom link given below. You can actually see it here. And so please use this Zoom link. Okay, and then we have also given some timings and time slots based on your percentage PCM scores. So if you have scores greater than 95%, where you'll be the first one to be called between 9:15 and 10 a.m. And then, as you can see, going right up to 70%, which is our cutoff point, later in the evening between 5:30 and 6:30 p.m. So this is what the original, the tentative plan is. It may change a little bit depending on if you have more number of students in a particular slot. It might alter a little bit. We'll keep you posted on that. But this is how we are going to conduct our admissions. So from the first 45 minutes, all students having 95% plus scores, then all the between 93 and 95% between 10 and 11, and so on and so forth. I will spend a little more time discussing about this as we move on. So before I now start describing to you the international programs that we have, I will take 2 slides to tell something about Thapar Institute, because Thapar Institute is going to be your home institution for the first 2 years. So if some of you are not familiar with the Thapar and have also not attended some of our previous webinars, I will very briefly in 2 slides showcase to you what Thapar is all about. So as you can see, this is a slide on our history and journey, starting in 1956 by late Lala Karamchand Thapar on invitation of the Punjab government in the city of Patiala, with 3 programs in electrical engineering, civil engineering, and mechanical engineering, affiliated to Punjab University at that time. Later on, we became affiliated to Punjab University. This is a university which came up in the city of Patiala in mid-60s. By 1985, we were granted full autonomy, financial and academic, and by an act of parliament, we became a deemed university. And this was the status given to us when, this was a very coveted status in those days. We became a university, and so obviously, besides the knowledge dissemination, which all teaching institutions do, knowledge creation also became part of our motto. And that's when, we had our faculty started to do a lot of work in the area of research alongside great teaching we have always been known for. In 2007, we remained an engineering institute all this while. It's only in 2007 we started an MBA program from Patiala campus, which later on moved to an off-campus, which we had set up in Dera Bassi. This campus is now offering MBA programs and also a 2+2 computer science program, which actually means the students spend 2 years at Dera Bassi campus and they come to Patiala campus in year 3 and year 4. Why is 2015 listed here? This was the year when we actually started a massive modernization and contemporizing program. So a huge amount of money was actually put into the institute to modernize it. We spent 100 crores plus in the undergraduate teaching laboratories alone. We built some really fantastic infrastructure, physical infrastructure on campus. Brand new library came up, brand new lecture halls came up, and a new computer science building also came up. Along with it came many new labs and also student residences. What you see in the picture here is the picture of then President of India, the first President of India, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, who laid down the foundation stone of Thapar Institute in April 1956. You can see the plaque at the front of the campus, dated April 10th, 1956. So that's our legacy. We have been in existence for 64 years and have produced more than 30,000 alumni in the last 64 years. Most of these people, have done very, very well in their careers and occupy some very senior positions in corporate India or abroad, all in bureaucracy, or if they have been entrepreneurs and have set up their own factories. So that's what the legacy our alumni has built for us. That's the name that we enjoy, name and fame we enjoy is also because of the kind of students who graduated from Thapar. A little briefly about our rankings and accreditations. Thapar Institute is ranked 29th, that is the one which you can see at the bottom, amongst all engineering institutes in India by the National Institutional Ranking Framework, for which the report came out in 2020, in June 2020 this year. So minded, this is among us thousands of engineering colleges that exist in India, and you have already 23, 24 IITs, you have another 25 NITs, which are all centrally funded, plus there are other colleges too. To get a rank of this kind consistently over the last several years is something which we are very proud of, and we are working to continue to improve this rank as we move in. As you can also see, we ranked number 3 amongst all private engineering institutes in India, behind the other 2 which were ahead of us in the latest NIF rankings was VIT and Amrita. We were ranked 8th in employer reputation. Some of the best companies come to Thapar to hire our students. And we also ranked very highly in the research output. The kind of research our people do is acknowledged across the world with number of publications, number of sponsored projects, and patents, and entrepreneurial ideas that students have here. Amongst our accreditations, we are accredited as an A+ institution by National Assessment and Accreditation Council by Government of India for a period of 5 years, beginning 2019. Most of our eligible programs are accredited by National Board of Accreditation. These are engineering accreditations. Similarly, 5 of our old engineering programs are also accredited by US, which is called as an ABET accreditation, which you see right at the bottom here, which I've just highlighted. In the international rankings by, say, Times Higher Education, we are ranked between 601 to 800 in the world, right? And mind, there are about, I don't know how many, but there are probably tens of thousands of universities in the world, and only about 20 of them from India figure in the first 800 in the world, right? So we are one of them. Our computer science program is ranked between 301 to 400 in the world, and our Asia rankings is 156. Our engineering programs are ranked between 501 to 600 in the world. So you can, what I'm trying to actually tell you here is that Thapar Institute has continuously, got really high ranks by all ranking agencies. It's a very popular destination for students, for high ranking students. And what we are known for is for great teaching and great research. That's what we have been known for the last 60 plus years. Just an overview of the institution. In terms of academic, we are pioneers in outcome-based teaching. All of you heard about the new education policy. And one of the key things the new education policy talked about was that we will introduce outcome-based teaching in all educational institutions. We have been practicing this for the last 7 years now. So we are already ahead of the curve as far as outcome-based teaching is concerned. We have over 450 faculty, and vast majority of them have done a PhD from top institutions across the world and India. As far as the infrastructure is concerned, we have a large 250-acre, very green campus. And I just mentioned to you, when we began the contemporization program in 2015, we spent 600 crores since then to build physical infrastructure and modernize our laboratories and support research. As far as research and innovation is concerned, I just mentioned to you, we are ranked 20th in the country in terms of research output. Our faculty is very research active, and we encourage them to take their research problems and research ideas and innovative ideas to the class so they can inspire students towards research. Today's webinar, of course, is about international outlook. So after this slide, I'll be talking about all the international partnerships that we have and the kind of programs that we offer in partnership with them. And our student selection is going to be on merit. We are a preferred institute for all top ranking students. Many of you would have been aware that once we closed our first round of counselings about a week ago, the cutoffs were really, really high. The current student strength at Thapar Institute across all programs in undergraduate, postgraduate, and PhD, and also MBA is 10,000 plus in both campuses put together. So let me come now to the partnerships that we have. We have some very large institutional partnerships that we have developed over the last 5 or 6 years. Some of these, the name of the top universities you can see on the screen right now: Trinity College Dublin, Tel Aviv University, University of Queensland, University of New South Wales, University of Groningen, Virginia Tech, University of Toledo, and University of Leeds. Now, these are some great relationships that we have developed. Many of them offer a 2+2 or a credit transfer program with us. Some of them are purely research partnerships, right? So I will talk about each one of these partnerships as we move along. So let's get started with the international programs that we offer, in which many of you probably are interested in those programs. I'll start with our oldest international engineering program, which is Trinity College Dublin, which is now in existence in 2015. And we have already sent close to about 180 or 200 students. And several of them have actually graduated from there and are working in Dublin and doing other things. So let me first start with Trinity College Dublin, and I'll give you an overview of what Trinity is and how are we going to admit students in this program. Trinity is a very old university. It was set up in 1592, right? So this is like almost 428 years old university. It's Ireland's #1 universities. It's ranked in the top 100 to 150 in the world, about 17,000 students, and it excels in research-led teaching and is a very globally connected campus. Now, this was the first partnership that we had developed, right? And it started with 8 students going to Trinity for a 2+2 program in 2015, and they graduated in 2017. Since then, we have been sending about 40 students every year to this campus. So whenever you will go there, you will find probably 80 students from Thapar always there. Some of them have actually grown into higher education, into PhD programs or master programs. Many of them are working in the city of Dublin, because Dublin is the hub of all the IT-related activities of Europe. So Trinity is situated in, of course, it is in Europe, right? And as you can see, it's right here next to the Irish Sea, and but just about 40 minutes of flight from Heathrow Airport in London, right? It's the capital of Ireland, and it's a lovely city, and it's gateway to continental Europe. It's one of the safest countries in the world, and Trinity College has been sitting here right in the heart of the Dublin city since 1592. It's a research-intensive university, and as you can see, some of these old buildings, we have been there several times. You can see 400 years old buildings and 500 years old buildings. There is a library which actually has the oldest known book in the world. It's called the Book of Kells, and that is sitting in the Trinity College library. People queue up, pay euros to go and have a look at that, that book. So that's the legacy of the university. It's known for its research, it's known for its teaching, and is one of the top-ranked universities to work with. So we have an institutional relationship with them. We set up all our curriculum discussing with Trinity College Dublin. All the laboratory equipment that we have bought in the last 5 years, we have taken their inputs, we have taken their advice. They advise us on faculty recruitment, they advise on curriculum development, they advise us on projects, they advise us on outcome-based teaching. So they have been kind of a mentor to Thapar Institute during the last 5 or 6 years. They have several schools and, as part of the university. We are dealing with computer science and statistics school and the engineering school. These are the 2 schools we are going to talk about, right? So it's something that we are now very familiar with. We know the entire faculty, we know the head of schools. So this is something which is like a second home to most faculty outside India when we actually travel to Trinity. Of course, these are some pictures of Indian students and in the activities. Like what you see here is I think this is actor Salman Khan, when he actually shot a movie in Trinity College campus some years ago. As far as career growth is concerned, now I can give you data, because many of our students have now graduated from there. So almost every one of them who had a decent score when they graduated found a job in Dublin and have now been working there, right? So international students can work for 20 hours a week on a student visa. And then if you graduate from Trinity, there is a opportunity to get a 1-year work visa. If you do a master's program also from there, this work visa is extended to 2 years, right? And if you find a job, then of course your employer will get the work visa for you, right? So the Trinity College is the actually hub for all the IT companies in the world. So Google, Facebook, you name the company, they are probably in 3 or 4 kilometers distance from the city center where Trinity College Dublin lies, right? So these are some pictures of our students, right? How they have done. They've done very, very well. I'm just quickly showing you some pictures. This is a student of the first batch. Some more students. You can also see me in the background. I'm also here when I went and to meet with the students. And some more students when celebrating some Indian festival, right? So this is just a glimpse of the students there. This is what I wanted to highlight to you. When our first 2 batches went, we sent the top ranking students. They bagged every top position which was on offer in Trinity College Dublin, right? So the toppers of School of Mechanical Engineering, toppers of Electronics, toppers of Computer Science were all Thapar students at the end of 4th year, right? You can see them in this picture in the old library which they have taken, and this is the medals they had actually got. So our students have been excelling there, and they have found great jobs in Trinity College Dublin. So let's look at the program as such. In this program, the students who are admitted to the IIT TCD program, they will pursue the first 2 years of their course in India before they will transfer to Ireland in years 3 and 4. Subject to meeting the academic requirements. The academic requirement here is that at the end of 2 years, students must obtain a CGPA of 7 or more. And on completion of the degree, that means 2 more years, you are eligible to get an undergraduate engineering degree. And if you decide to spend 1 more year in Trinity, you are also able to get a master's degree from Trinity by spending that additional 1 year. There is some flexibility available, which means depending on the number of seats available at the end of 2 years, it is possible to change your discipline. That means you can change from electronics to, suppose you are studying electronics here. If there are seats available, you can change to computers when you go to Trinity in year 3. If you are studying some other branch in Thapar, even then, if you complete some additional courses, you will be allowed to transfer to a different branch in Trinity, because in Trinity year 1 and year 2 is taught all common subjects. So you have that flexibility, although this is not guaranteed, but we can, wherever possible, we are able to do this. Then you secure a globally recognized undergraduate engineering degree, and there is a lot of cost saving involved, because you know, instead of studying 4 years at Trinity, you study only there for 2 years. And then I just mentioned to you, you can obtain the master's degree at Trinity by spending 1 more year. Some of the benefits here, as I just mentioned to you, you can work up to a maximum of 20 hours a week while you are a student. That means you can earn on the side if you wish to. And during the summer breaks or winter breaks, if you're staying back in Ireland, you can work for 40 hours during the term breaks. There are several work experience and internship opportunities. Many of the students at the end of 3rd year take up a 2 or 3 month internship, which is typically paid. And if you decide to do a master's program from Trinity, there will be a 6 to 8 months of internship opportunity in the 2nd semester of 4th year in Dublin itself. You can pursue careers across many fields all over the world. Trinity has over 100,000 or 1 lakh alumni working in 122 countries. And they have such a great network that they are able to use them to find jobs for their recent graduates. The teaching there is project-led, much like what we do here, because we kind of did everything under their mentorship with a great reliance on experiential learning. And I just mentioned to you research-inspired and outcome-based teaching. I mentioned to you, you need a minimum CGPA of 7 at the end of second year with no backlogs. You need good English communication skills and writing skills. The session begins from September each year, and you get a Trinity degree. Some more pictures here. This is the entry to Trinity College Dublin. On the very first day when the freshers go in, our year 3 students had gone in, I had gone with them. And what you see here is all the societies had actually put up their stalls so that students can actually go and visit them and see what's all happening around in the university. These are the kind of residences where students typically stay. This is what we call a hostel here. They call them residences. So these are Trinity student residences, which are like an apartment in which 5 or 6 students stay and are completely furnished. Some more pictures of the college. This is our students celebrating Holi at Trinity College. This is the main entrance of Trinity College Dublin. So this is about Trinity College. What we offer now is 25 seats in computer engineering, 10 seats in electronics and computers engineering, and 5 seats in mechanical engineering in this program, right? So this is what are the seats available, and we'll call students on merit, and whoever wants them, depending on their merit, can take it. Let's talk about the second program that we have, which is this University of Queensland, Australia. And this IEP with UQ. Now, what you see here is, again, like Trinity, this is a 2-year study in India and 2 years in Australia. And so this is, again, because we have signed a relationship agreement with them. Some scholarships are made available to the students. Although these scholarships are given directly by University of Queensland, the numbers are not defined, but so I cannot really guarantee who will get it or not, but these scholarships are available, and they are typically called as Vice Chancellor's Scholarship and a Dean's Scholarship, which many students are able to get, right? So why University of Queensland? It's ranked 42nd by the 2020 US News Global Ranking. It's 54th in the academic ranking of world universities. It's 46th in the QS world rankings in this 2020, and 66th in the Times Higher Education 2020 world rankings. So you can see it is truly figuring in all world rankings in the top 100 in the world. So this is the pathway: 2 years at Patiala, then 2 years at doing a degree in Australia, in Brisbane, and you will graduate with the UQ, University of Queensland Bachelor's of Engineering Honours degree, which is accredited by Engineers Australia. And because Engineers Australia is a signatory to Washington Accord, it's recognized all over the world. There is the potential to work up to 2 years in Australia upon graduation, because that's what the visa conditions are. And there are global employment opportunities. We have several programs in which you can take admission here. You can go to admit into a civil engineering program at Thapar and finish with a UQ civil engineering degree if you wish to. But this is the only program which is done in 2 + 2.5 years. All other programs are 2 + 2. So civil engineering, they wanted students to do some additional courses. So there is one additional semester students might have to take. So this is a 4.5 years program, but all other programs are 2 + 2. So the other option you have is Bachelor of Engineering in Computer Engineering. The equivalent Queensland program is Bachelor of Engineering Software, and it's again a 2 + 2. Similarly, in Thapar University, you can take admission in Electrical Engineering, Instrumentation and Control Engineering, or Electronics and Communication Engineering, or Electronics and Computer Engineering. And in all these 4 programs, you will transfer to Bachelor of Engineering Honours in Electrical Engineering. Now, their electrical engineering is actually equivalent to electronics engineering in, University of Queensland. Even in University of New South Wales, in most foreign universities, what we call typically electronics and communication here, it is called electrical engineering in the Western world. Similarly, the Bachelor of Engineering program in Mechanical Engineering and also Mechanical Engineering and Production, these two can transfer to Bachelor of Engineering honors in Mechanical Engineering in a 2+2 mode. So these are the programs that we have at the University of Queensland. As I just mentioned to you, there are scholarships which will be awarded to students accepted in this program between UQ and Thapar Institute. And the scholarship values are Australian dollars 31,500. It's a meritorious award based on applicants' GPA. So what might happen is the group which goes to Queensland, whoever the top 3 or 4 students, whoever has the highest GPA will be eligible to get the Vice Chancellor's Global Scholar Award. Similarly, there is a little lesser amount, which is the Dean's Global Scholar Award, again based on merit. Some of you who have high GPA will be able to get these scholarships. Then, of course, these are the engineering opportunities at University of Queensland. Great careers are made there. You have opportunities in offshore companies, in production companies, in IT companies, in software development, you name it. You have a global career if you actually graduate from University of Queensland, and provides you exceptional opportunities at University of Queensland. Let me show you now our third program that we have. This is the program with University of Leeds, United Kingdom, and but this program is restricted only to chemical engineering. So all these aspirants to a chemical engineering program can do a 2+2, doing 2 years at Patiala and then doing 2 more years in University of Leeds in United Kingdom and getting their degree. They are ranked 10th in the UK for research power, and the School of Chemical and Process Engineering has over 1,000 students from 70 countries. And University of Leeds is the 3rd largest university and has more than 33,000 students from 151 countries and 7,800 staff. You can see, I visited them last year. They have completely refurbished their chemical and process engineering building. It's a brand new building which has come out. You can see the lecture halls, the kind of laboratories they have built, the social spaces, and the research environment. It's just state of the art. I would say it's probably one of the best infrastructure in chemical engineering I ever saw. So this is what is offered in School of Chemical and Process Engineering. You probably, those who are taking chemical engineering program at Thapar can then transfer to University of Leeds and take any one of these 4 programs. So you can graduate with either in a chemical engineering degree, or a chemical and energy engineering degree, or a chemical and materials engineering degree, or a chemical and nuclear engineering degree. So you have 4 options to go in the chemical basket. And then if you spend 1 more year, you can also get a master's degree from University of Leeds. This is accredited by Institution of Chemical Engineers for chartered status. So it's a very well recognized program. University of Leeds is in the top 10 in the UK and is awarded gold for their outstanding student education. So the city of Leeds is about an hour's drive, 3 hours drive from London, and about 45 minutes flight from London. It's not very far away. So the nearest airport is Manchester, right? Or you can fly into London. So either of the 2 places, and you can get into Leeds in about half an hour or so. So this is a little bit more information about excellence in student education. They have 96% of their graduates are employed or are in further study within 6 months of their graduation. They're top 10 in the Times High Flyers, most targeted institutions for graduate recruitment. The top 10 university in the UK, and 3rd in the UK for student experience. So if you look at this program, as I just mentioned to you, this is a 2+2 program for chemical engineering students. As I just mentioned to you, from chemical engineering, you can transfer to any one of these 4 programs, as I just showed on the screen. And for admission to Leeds, you will need to have successfully completed year 1 and year 2 at the IIT, and should have a cumulative GPA of 7 on a scale of 10, which is very similar to what I told you about Trinity College Dublin and also about University of Queensland. The English language requirement is waived off in our case if the student has more than 70% score in Indian standard class 12 exam and has studied throughout in English medium. So you are exempted to take IELTS or TOEFL or whatever in this case. So once you are enrolled at Leeds, you will receive a scholarship towards the international tuition fee, subject to a minimum number of students. So if at least 3 or 4 students go, there will be a scholarship which will be awarded to each student who is accepted there. And this is provided as a partial fee waiver. So whatever is the fee, you can discount that amount, which is scholarship, and pay the remaining, right? So, and of course, this fee waiver continues subject to making satisfactory academic performance. Then we have a program with University of New South Wales, Sydney, which is again a top university in the world. It's ranked 43rd in the 2020 QS World University Rankings, 71st in the Times Higher Education Rankings, and 94th in the 2019 academic rankings of world universities. UNSW is located in Sydney, which is Australia's largest city, where most Indian students want to go. And the 2 cities which most students want to travel, which is Sydney and Melbourne. So this program is open for students of electronics and communication engineering or electronics and computer engineering students. So in this program, you can take admission only in these 2 programs. And then at the end of 2 years, you will transfer to Department of Electrical Engineering there. As I just mentioned to you, like in UQ, the electronics version of UNSW and University of Queensland is electrical engineering. So if you look at the syllabus and everything of electrical engineering in UNSW, it will all match up with what we teach here to electronics and computer students and electronics and communication engineering students. The requirement here is a CGPA of a little more, 7.3, and making sure that all elements of Thapar are completed before transfer. The students will receive the degree from University of New South Wales. There is a requirement of an internet-based TOEFL exam with a minimum score of 90, also 6.5 in IELTS and 48 in PTE. But this program is only for these 2 branches, electronics and computers and electronics and communication. Then we have another program with the University of Toledo, which is currently only for biomedical engineering programs. So University of Toledo is in the state of Ohio, which is about an hour away from Detroit Airport. Is one of the just 27 public research universities. University of Toledo offers the longest standing ABET accredited bioengineering program at Ohio. You must have heard this word ABET in my first 2 or 3 slides when I said many of our programs are also ABET accredited. In US, the accreditation of all engineering programs are carried out by ABET. So this is the longest standing ABET accredited program in bioengineering at Ohio. Bioengineers apply engineering techniques to improve the human condition and solve problems in biology, medicine, healthcare, and other fields. Biomedical engineering is also the gateway to get into medical streams in the US. There is a large scholarship to Thapar students who take the 2+2 route. If the student has a CGPA greater than 8.75 on a scale of 10, they will receive a scholarship of US dollars 8,500. If your CGPA is between 7.5 to 8.74, the students will get a scholarship of 7,500 US dollars. The total tuition fee that we have been able to negotiate with University of Toledo is about 20,000 US dollars a year. And if you are able to do well at Thapar and get a good academic score, you are eligible for these 2 scholarships, which will reduce your fee to about $12,000 to $13,000. Please also do remember that this course also has what we call as a 3 co-op terms. Now, what is meant by co-op terms is that there are 3 opportunities for students to go and work in industry during the course of the study, right? So this program is offered in 3 terms a year. That means 4 months a year. So 1 year has 3 terms, term 1, term 2, and term 3. This is year 1. So if you can multiply this by 4, you will have a total of 12 terms. Out of 12 terms, 3 terms will be internship terms or a cooperative terms, which means you will be able to go and work with industry. And in the US, if you are taking a co-op term, most likely you will be paid, and that money that you earn from these co-op terms will be enough to sustain your living expenses in the US for the 2 years that you study. There is, of course, a language proficiency requirements here as well. You need a TOEFL score of 71, IELTS of 6, and a PTE of 8 before you are able to transfer. So these are all the programs that we have. And I once again will want to show you the counseling that we intend to do on August 17th. Just to reiterate that we will start at 9:15 in the morning for those students who have PCM scores greater than 95%. And then as we go down, by the end of the day, we would have covered the entire spectrum of students, with their PCM scores. We have several seats to fill up. There are 25 seats in computer engineering, 25 to 27 seats in Trinity College of Dublin. Similarly, this computer engineering and software combination in University of Queensland will be another 20 to 25 seats. And then we have options in electronics and communication, electronics and computers, mechanical and other branches, chemical engineering, biomedical engineering, and things and branches of these kinds, right? So this is what I wanted to describe to you before we actually start the admissions process on 17th. So this ends my presentation. I'll be happy to answer all the questions that you might have.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for the detailed presentation. So before we move on to the Q&A session, I'd request the attendees to please fill the poll that you're currently seeing on your screens right now. So this is particularly going to help us in tailoring the upcoming webinars. So in parallel, we'll just start with the Q&A session now. So the first question is, what if we want to drop from the international program after the first year? Can we continue in TIET?
Okay, so I'll answer that question. You cannot drop after first year. The only possibility of dropping out is only at the end of second year, right? Once you have decided not to go, you will have to study for 2 years in this program. If you decide not to go, we will let you stay back in Patiala. The only problem would be, or the only change that would happen is that you might have to revert to a different branch. Now, I'll tell you what does it really mean. It is possible that somebody with a, say, for example, I'm just hypothetical example I'm taking, somebody with an 85% score might get a computer engineering, say in Trinity College or in University of Queensland. See, in our normal counseling, say an outside Punjab student may not get at 85%. Now, we do not want to make this look like a backdoor entry for somebody that they take computer engineering saying that I want to go to Trinity College of Dublin, and then say I don't want to go, and then stay back in computer engineering. That will be grave injustice to all those students who did not get computer engineering at 85% and had decided to stay for all 4 years in Thapar. So what will happen is, what will happen is that we will tell you that at your score of 85% on the last counseling, these were the branches which were available to you. You will have to choose one of those branches, right? And this branch will be allocated to you right at the time of joining, within 1 month of your joining. So it'll give you 2 branches, one for the international program, and second, which we call as the parent branch, that in case you don't go, then you revert back to that branch which you would have normally got with the scores that you have obtained in your PCM. I hope that is clear.
Right, sir. Sir, in mechatronics engineering, is mechatronics engineering available for any IEP with University of South Wales, Australia?
No.
Sir, is there any scholarship for the same at the Trinity College?
See, until now, till like I'm saying 2019, we had a scholarship of 15% on the fees. The new contract is still being worked out. I would hope that there'll be a scholarship available to the students, but that since the contract has not yet been signed for scholarships for the next 5 years. So I did not give any figure as yet, right? So whatever scholarship is announced by Trinity, when the contract gets signed, I will let that known to all of you.
Right, sir. Sir, so this is a question that has been pertaining to a lot of candidates. Sir, I filled no in the IAP in the application form, but I want to change it to yes.
You
Is it
can
going to
still
be?
come. You can still come. We are not stopping anybody. If you want to come on that day with your percentage, we'll accept you.
Right, sir. Sir, do we need to calculate the PCM marks for percentage or best of 3 out of 4?
No PCM marks, but the chemistry can be replaced as given in our prospectus with some technical vocational courses as it is given in our prospectus. So you can take physics, maths is compulsory. Third course could be chemistry or a technical vocational course which you might have taken, say for example, computer science or IT or whatever. That's as per our prospectus. So please go to the guidelines that we use for admissions in our normal regular counseling. Same thing will apply.
Right, sir. Sir, is there any kind of credits transfer program at the BTech degree received, therefore, of the accepted by a different university?
These are all credit transfer programs, 2+2. In each case, the degree is given by the partner university, right? And because I just did mention to you, all the universities that we partner with are top universities in the world, right? So their degrees are universally recognized anywhere in the world.
Right, sir. Sir, is there any benefit for this international program in masters?
Yes, like I just mentioned to you, both in Queensland, New South Wales, as well as Trinity College Dublin, there is a seamless transfer to the master's program if the student wishes to. Like in the case of Trinity College, in the 4th year itself, you can pick up the option of staying for 1 more year and getting a master's degree as well. Same case is with University of Leeds for chemical engineering program. Same thing applies to University of Queensland as well as University of New South Wales. In the case of Toledo, there is a requirement of the GRE, but that might not stay by the time you graduate, right? Because they are reviewing that thing.
Right, sir. Sir, is the degree that your partner university gives as the degree they would give to the regular students who study 4 years?
Exactly the same degree with no information on where did you do your 2 years for.
Right, sir.
Right?
Sir,
it's the same degree.
Right. Sir, what kind of placements are there for the IEP students that got in the past year?
Well, I can tell you this year, people have gone into Intel, people have gone into Cisco, people have gone into power companies, people have gone into, all kinds of software related companies, Accenture, and so they are all based in Dublin. So many, because most of the students who actually went to Trinity were actually IT, which means electronics or computer students. So they got into IT companies, most of them. Oh, in fact, some of them actually working with Citibank and banks where they actually take up IT jobs.
Right, sir. Sir, are banks providing education loans for these programs?
Well, until now, we have a arrangement with Union Bank of India, wherein it funds 40 lakh rupees for the year 3 and year 4 of study with Trinity College Dublin. This is an arrangement informally we have made with the Union Bank. So anybody who actually takes up the Trinity College program is able to seamlessly get a 40 lakh rupees, which might get enhanced in years to come from without any third-party guarantee, just by showing our admission letter from Trinity College.
Right, sir. Sir, is it possible to apply to other universities which are not in collaboration with TIT on personal basis after the 2 year at TIT using credit transfer? Well,
this is something I will not encourage, right? But obviously, if there is somebody willing to accept you without any collaboration with us, really, I don't know what I can do about it. If you decide to go after 2 years, who can stop you?
Right, sir. So do IEP students have a separate batch in Thapar for the first 2 years, or are they enrolled with the regular Thaparians?
The answer is yes and no, right? They are always mixed with the regular Thapar students. That is true, right? But in year 2, we try and make, if there is a large enough cohort, we will try and make one single section for them.
Right, sir. Sir, if I don't get scholarship in the first semester, can I get a good CGPA and get a scholarship in the later semesters?
Yes, that's true. See, we have merit scholarships for toppers of the class, number 2 and number 3 for each year.
Right, sir. So the applications are through Thapar counseling only, or can we apply separately for the international courses?
No, all those who have applied until 31st of July, these are the people who are eligible.
Right, sir. So we'll just take some more questions from the crowd. So I'll just allow Anika Sharma. So please go ahead and ask a question, please.
Sir, I wanted to ask that according to NIRF, the ranking has consistently gone down for Thapar. So I wanted to ask what could be the possible reason, because last year I think it was less than 29 and this year it has gotten 29.
You are correct, right? So last year we were actually 23 and this year this is 29. See, these remain fluctuating because of the methodology that is used by NIRF ranking methods. I'll just give you a little bit of an overview of how that is done. See, there are scores which are based on teaching and learning. There are scores which are based on our research output. There are scores which are based on our graduate outcomes, which means placements and all. And there are scores which are based on, what we call this as perception, right? So what has happened is our teaching and learning scores have remained consistently high. Our research output has also remained very high. Our graduate outcomes have actually been in the top 10 or top 15 in the country. There is the fourth score, which is perception. Now, perception is that they ask regular people in industry and also peers and ask about to rank general public about Thapar Institute. That's where we haven't really scored, which actually is an indication of that we probably have lacked a little bit of a marketing effort, that we are not known beyond the not known very well beyond the 7 or 8 states from where we actually admit students to. So if you go beyond North, Northwest and Central India, you go to the South, you go to Northeast, many people may not have heard about Thapar because we haven't really been able to market ourselves to that extent in those regions, what BITS Pilani say has been able to do. So we did some kind of a assessment that if we had the same perception score, which is more subjective in nature, in which we really couldn't do much, we probably would have been at 10 ranks higher if we had a similar perception score, say as VIT or BITS Pilani. Right? So this is, I'm not trying to say that or finding excuses for this, but this is exactly the reason. Our teaching learning scores and research scores and graduate outcome scores are doing consistently very, very well.
Right, sir. So we'll move on to the next question. Sir, if I go for TCD, do I need to do the IELTS? Do I need to clear the IELTS exam?
No, for Trinity College Dublin, we have an arrangement with them. They give a exemption certificates to all students admitted from Thapar, and that letter is sent directly to the embassy and it is accepted. So there is a exemption certificate for English, for Trinity at least. For Trinity as well as Leeds.
Leeds, right, sir. So we also have Dr. Karun Verma, who's currently a postdoc at Trinity, and there is a question that he wants to answer. What are the scholarships that are available at Trinity College? Sir, would you like to answer this? Karun, sir.
Yeah. The currently the initial, there is only one scholarship that was available. That was 15% scholarship that was available till last year. This year, we are in talks with them to revise the contract, and the same may be available to the students, but till now we cannot guarantee that. So currently there is no such scholarship. If at all there is a scholarship, we'll announce that.
Oh, I just mentioned this, Deepto, that we till for the last 5 years we had a scholarship, not scholarship, it was a fee discount of 15%. For the batches starting this year, 2020, we are still, discussing the new contract with them, and as and when that gets signed, we will let you know. Something should come, right? It will similar to what we had in the past. depending on the student numbers, right? They are, very keen that if you have a certain number of students, then they will guarantee some kind of a scholarship. And then, of course, since because this is not yet finalized and signed off, I'm in no position to actually tell you anything right now.
Right, sir. So due to the shortage of time, we'll take another few questions. Maybe
there is no shortage of time, Deepto. We will answer as many questions as we can.
Okay, sir. Can I opt for international programs after 2 semesters in the general 4-year program if I have the required GPA for scholarship?
I didn't get that question. That means after 1 year?
After 2 semesters, yes.
So if we want to exercise this option at the end of 1 year?
So he is already enrolled as a regular student and he wants to get into the national at Thapar.
He's enrolled where?
In Thapar.
Oh, he can.
So he must have.
It is possible, right? So what you need to do is come and see me. If you're already a Thapar student, then you already probably know me. So come to my office, give an application, tell me where you want to go, and we will see if we have a seat available, we'll allocate it to you.
Right, sir. So we'll just ask some attendees to ask the question. Maybe
before that, Dipto, there are a few questions which I probably read through, so I will like to answer them because some of these questions are related to fee structure at the partner university and also at Thapar. See, for Thapar, the fee structure is 1.5 times our normal fee for both years, right? However, if the student gets a high CGPA of 8.5 or more, then we refund the extra money that we have taken. Okay, so that's the Thapar part of it. It's 1.5 times our normal fee. Whereas in the case of partner universities, this fee is announced on their website year to year, right? So typically, for example, this year, the Trinity fee is about 25,000 euros per year. Now, since we had a discount this year available to students who were admitted last year, so that is, say, 15%. So typically students are paying about 21,500 euros to 22,000 euros per year. Similarly, in the case of University of Queensland and University of New South Wales, the fee is based on credits taken at UNSW or at University of Queensland. Typically, that fees will turn out to be between 35,000 to 40,000 Australian dollars, right? Depending if you have to complete all the courses. So similarly, University of Leeds, the fee could be close to 10,000 pounds per 10 to 12,000 pounds per semester. But I told you about a scholarship available there. If a minimum 3 or 5 students are going there, everybody will get about 3,000 pounds scholarship. So these fees are announced on a year-to-year basis on their websites. So if you go to the Trinity College website and look for an international student, you will get to know the fee. The only thing we will be able to negotiate with them is some sort of a discount on that fees. And whenever that is agreed, we will let you know. So this is the fee component of all the partner universities.
Right, sir. So we've got Shobit Singh who wants to ask a question. Please go ahead, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Shobit.
Yes, sir. Sir, I want to ask that after 2 years, if I'm in regular batch and I want to take for IES program with eligible CGPA for a scholarship, can I get it?
You can, provided there is a seat available.
Oh, the seat factor.
I told you that University of Queensland, I got 20 seats in, say, computer engineering. If I already have 20, then I can't do anything about it, right?
Okay, sir. Or sir, if I'm enrolled in IES program and I want to get into regular batch after 2 years, can I get my fees 1.5 times that refund back?
No, there'll be no refund, but that 1.5 times will stop thereafter.
Okay, sir.
So you don't have to pay that for year 3 and year 4, but 1 and 2 you have to pay.
Okay, sir. I have marked yes in IES program, but I want to go for regular batch because.
Okay, you don't see if you don't want to take it, don't appear on that day.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
So we've got another participant, Suneet Taneja. Please go ahead, sir. Suneet Taneja. Okay, we'll go with the next candidate, Manat Kaur. Yeah, please go ahead, ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, Priti?
Good evening.
Sir, I want to ask one question that if I've got a seat, I've got a branch in first counseling, and now if I go for TCD also, if I'm eligible,
Right.
will my name be considered in third counseling?
Of course.
Okay. And sorry.
Absolutely, I said.
Okay. And if you can give me some ratio between boys and girls going for TCD program.
I can just give you a wild guess, right? In the first batch, when we sent 8 students, there were 3 girls and 5 boys. Second time, we sent 12 students, there were 4 girls and 8 boys. Then we sent 40 students. I think there were 12 girls and 28 boys. So it is like this. See, the number of girl students on Thapar campus is about 20%. I think the same ratio is reflected in the students who go to Trinity, 20 to 25.
Okay. And so one more question I want to ask related to the fees. Like I've paid for my branch in the first counseling. So now do I have to pay for TCD also?
You have to pay only the difference of the fee because of this fee is different from the regular course.
In
right?
normal one, it's 1.5 times.
So if you already paid the normal, program fee, you can pay only the remaining fee now.
Okay. And if I go for TCD, then will I get refund?
Refund
Okay.
of
Okay. I got your point. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Right.
Got another participant, Ishan.
Yeah,
Ishan?
so if I have 85% in PCM and I get into this IEP program, but I am not eligible for the gender program and getting a seat in there, what
Yeah.
branch would be allotted to me?
You will get the branch then of the lowest candidate.
The lowest candidate branch.
Sir, I would just like to add on this question. You have scheduled for the counseling for the internship program up to 70%, right? And as you mentioned during the presentation, the parent branch will be allocated initially, and as well as the secondary branch will be allocated based on whatever eligibility would be there.
This normal will be allocated later after the all counseling is over.
In normal course, a student at the 70% of the PCM will not be eligible to get any of the course in Thapar.
Right.
So on what basis and what would be allocated in such a scenario? It's just a hypothetical scenario.
So I just mentioned to you, this situation has never come in before, but if suppose such a situation is to come, my gut feel would be that we will look at what was the lowest preferred branch, we will give that.
What it would be?
I will have to look at the records now, which was the lowest preferred branch this year. So accordingly, we'll give.
Historically, what it would be, whether it would be electrical or something?
No, historically, I won't comment on it. But historically, if you really press me for it, it could be chemical engineering or or civil engineering or this whatever. But it changes, right, from year to year.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thanks. So we'll have another participant, Aryan.
Aryan, go ahead.
Yeah, my question is that actually I'm Aryan's father. So we have appeared for the counseling in normal course, and we have got a seat allocated. Also, I have already paid the fees also. Now, suppose if I want to opt for IEP program, then do I have to fill some other application or what is going to be the...
No other application. It's just that you have to let us know that you want to shift to IEP and pay the difference of the fee. That's it.
So in that case, suppose after the counseling, if I decide that I'm okay with the branch which I have been given as a normal course of that option will always be there?
Yes, that will be there.
So can I say that if
until completion of last counseling, all options remain open to you. But once we close the admissions, then this option lapses.
No, suppose if I give you an application or a this thing, what you said, if you want to opt for this IEP program, if I agree to opt for some grant, then only my this thing would get cancelled only.
No, I didn't really understand.
Sir, suppose if I appear for IEP program, then I'll be getting some branch, right?
Yes.
Then do you require my agreement also to accept that offer?
No, we don't require any agreement. You just need to pay the fee. Once you pay the fee, you already, signed up for the program.
And if I don't pay the fee, then earlier allocated branch would be.
Then that is gone.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Sir, as a foreign national, am I allowed for this IAP program?
Right, is allowed.
Allowed. Okay, sir. We'll ask Dhruv. Dhruv to please ask his question.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, I've got mechatronics engineering at Thapar. So am I eligible for going to Trinity College Dublin after 2 years?
No, with mechatronics, you are not eligible.
Okay, so if I choose to change my branch?
If you change to say mechanical or electronics or computer, you can.
And sir, University of New South Wales?
No, we don't have a mechatronics program with anyone, partnership with anybody, right?
Okay, sir, thank you.
Sir, are these percentage mentioned for Punjab or out of Punjab students?
Both.
Right.
There is no Punjab or outside Punjab for these seats. So it is based on merit. Whoever comes in with the higher merit will get whether Punjab or outside Punjab, doesn't matter.
Right, sir. So we'll ask Harshita Goyal to please ask her question. Go ahead, ma'am.
Harshita?
Hello. Sir, I'm audible?
Yeah, now.
Hello.
Yes, we are audible. Please go on.
Sir, actually, I've got 89% in PCM. Sir, whether I'm eligible for Thapar Institute only?
Yes, you are eligible.
Sir, actually, I've not got any counseling offer from Thapar Institute.
Because right now the cutoffs are very high. So just wait for today. There is second list coming. Just check. Maybe you will probably get it this time or maybe next time.
Oh, okay, then I will be getting a counseling, if any, in the in future. I will get, if any.
Yeah, it seems you will probably get it for sure. It could be today itself. It could be in the next round of counseling.
Okay, thank you,
sir. Let's ask another one, Anit Arora.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I would like to know that my son is preparing for JEE mains.
Right,
and
sir.
As you know that the exam would be done, like though I have already paid the fees, he has got electronics and communication with MBA.
Right, sir.
But most likely he's expecting around 97 to 98 percentile minimum in JEE mains. So
okay,
will
sir.
that score help him in the month of September?
Of course, because if the second JEE is held, then and we have an all India ranks available based on JEE 1 and JEE 2, then the last admission, which is in the month of September 15th or sometime around that time, it will be on the basis of JEE.
Okay, now sir, I've got one more question. Now, if the JEE main gets suspended, and
right.
or it get delayed, so will
right.
Thapar wait for that time, or if JEE main because there is a petition in Supreme Court, so there are chances that it may get postponed. So if it get postponed, will the second JEE main scores be valid in that case?
I think we have made it pretty clear in our communication that if the second JEE is held, we'll do it on the basis of JEE. If it is not held, then we will do it exactly the same way we are doing right now, 10+2.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Palak Dhawan, please go.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Palak. Go on.
Okay. So, sir, I wanted to ask you that I have secured 93% in PCM aggregate. So, am I eligible for CS in general program of Thapar Institute?
Yes. Who told you you're
Sir,
not?
but I have not received any counseling email from your side.
No. You may not have got the seat, yes, but you're eligible. See,
So,
our
sir, okay, sir. So, sir, do you expect that my name will come in the second merit list today?
I don't know. I'm answering questions only for international program, bete. Please don't ask me these. I don't
Okay,
have.
sir. Sir, I have got another question. Sir, if by chance we have applied for IEP and certainly if we do not, if we are not eligible for the international program after 2 years and we have paid the fees, then will the fees be refunded?
Why would the fee be refunded?
No, sir, before attending the IEP program.
See, for first 2 years, our fee is 1.5 times. Whether you go or you don't go, you pay that fee.
Okay, sir. Okay. And sir, by what time will the merit list come today?
I don't know. I told you my question. I am only answering international engineering program questions. I have no idea.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Good evening.
Bye-bye.
Okay. We'll get Tejasvi Arora to ask his question.
Hello.
Yes, Tejasvi ji.
Yeah, sir, you said if I am allotted an international seat, right, and with my PCM score of 75%, for example, getting any seat locally at Patiala, but I am offered a program in the international program, right? And after 2 years, if I don't want to go to abroad, you said I will get the lowest branch, for example, chemical engineering or civil, right? But still, it won't be a backdoor entry because originally I am not getting any seat at 75%.
Yeah, but then see, I told you for 6 years we have been running this program. It has never happened. In some category, somebody would have got, like Punjab might get to that stage. So it is possible that we will always find a student in that category. So don't worry about it, sir. I think we will find a way.
Although it's hypothetical question, I am saying because I am not getting any seat, then why to get only the lowest one? Then it should be given a choice to him because originally I was not getting any seat. I have been offered computer science, and 2 years, suppose after 2 years, my CGPA is not like that. I can go to abroad or I don't feel comfortable. Then I should get to civil or electrical.
I don't know what you will get, but this is a hypothetical question, so I will not like to give a hypothetical answer. We'll find a solution to it when we reach that stage.
So today there is no answer.
Really, because it has never, this kind of situation has never come.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
So does the corona pandemic affect the working conditions in the foreign universities?
Of course, it has affected the entire world. So it has affected the foreign universities as well. So just like what we do here in India is all online teaching, all foreign universities are also conducting at least this semester in the online mode.
Right, sir.
Like for example, Trinity College Dublin is currently offering all lectures in online mode. You have to go to the college only for the laboratory work, which is done in very small groups, right? So they have employed a hybrid model in which lectures continue to be done from online mode. That means you can sit at your home or in your hostel or residences or wherever, but you go only once or twice in a week to conduct all the projects or your laboratory work. So this is the hybrid model. I think it will continue this semester, and let's see what happens from next semester onwards.
Right, sir. Sir, could you elaborate on the counseling process for the IAP on the 17th of August?
So we just showcase it to you that at 9:15 we'll start with all students who have scores more than 95%, right? So that we have given 45 minutes for it because we expect that at that high score people would have already got a computer science. So there may not be many students. So we kept just 45 minutes for 95% and more. So what we have done is in all 1 hour thing, we have kept a certain number of students, and then once say 9:15 we'll ask the merit of all the students who have joined in, and then based on their merit we will start allocating them seats. That's what we will do.
Right, sir. Sir, is it possible to tell something about the placement and package at Trinity University?
Well, the placements have been very, very good. The package is typically about 35,000 euros per annum. Well, on an average, I'm saying, right? There are people who got 55,000, 60,000 as well. But typically it is between 34 to 36,000 euros a year, which is about 3,000 euros a month.
Right, sir. So we've got Rohan Khanna who wants to ask a question. Please go ahead, Rohan.
Hello, good evening, sir. This is Rohan this side.
Go ahead, Rohan.
So I had a question is that I have already applied for Thapar University and I did not make it through the first counseling round. And also I forgot to apply for the international program. So is it possible for me to apply right now?
No, you don't have to. See, if you have applied to Thapar, you are anyway eligible. Please come on that day at the time we have given. We will accept you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So if Dipto, if the most questions are done, you can probably ask last 2-3 questions and then we can probably wind up.
Right, sir. So we'll just allow another one participant to ask and then, okay, Yash Verma, please go.
Hello, sir. Good evening. I'm father of Yash Verma.
Yes, sir.
I have 2 questions. First is you mentioned that don't appear on 17th if you are not interested. So how this whole thing is going to be administered? Because in the online thing, will we get a mail?
No, there is already a mail which has been sent out today to all the people who have applied to this program. That means those who have said yes to this program.
Okay.
Then this information has now gone to our website as well.
Okay.
Right? So that there is a counseling. So anybody who's got the mail or has read this information on our website is free to come during that slot if he has applied to us by 31st of July.
So actually, I just wanted to understand what do you mean by come? Because in the
means there is a Zoom link we have given. You have to join on that link.
Okay. Understood.
Right? On the that we have sent out, there is a Zoom link. So click on that link and you will be able to
understood,
join.
Sir. Right. So second part of the question is, suppose on 17th, if I pay the fees, opting for the program, and later on, let's say in next 2-3 weeks, in case I want to reconsider, will my fees get refunded? Just within the, I'm talking.
We have a very, very transparent refund policy. So if you look at the refunds policy here, up to 31st of August, we will refund everything except 5,000 rupees as a counseling. Right?
Fair. So it will follow a standard refund policy, whatever is mentioned.
Policy.
Okay.
The other second policy is if you refund, between 1st September and 15th September, or 14th September, if you withdraw, we will refund 90% of the fee paid.
Right.
And
so
from 15th to 20th, like so on. So the dates given.
Right. So I had another question regarding the international ranking. I mean, in India, we understand that NIRF is the standard ranking which is followed by the government. For the international things, it is. I saw there are many ratings, many rankings in your presentations. Also, we saw which is the most popular one. And Trinity, you mentioned top 100. So it is as per which ranking? Okay.
So there are 2 rankings, actually 3, but 2 which are most widely used. One is the Times Higher Education World Rankings, THE, it's called THE, Times Higher Education. The other one is QS World Rankings, right? And the third is more related to research, which is Shanghai Rankings. But typically people follow only 2, which is Times Higher Education and QS World.
Right,
okay.
Sir. Thank you.
And Trinity's, I said it is between 100 and 150. I think it is 133 or something. I exactly don't know, but it should be around that number.
Right. One last thing about the campus placement. What I heard about Europe and all is it is the students who have to go and apply, unlike the Indian scenario.
Yes, that is true. So not only in Europe, even in the US, there are no campus placements done. No companies visit the campus to hire. What the institution does is it has a careers office. So you have to register with them. The companies keep sending their requirements to the careers office, and they keep, depending on what what kind of job you are looking for. The careers office will keep forwarding those emails to you and will keep encouraging you to apply to those jobs, right? And help you with all the softer aspects of it. And then you need to, most of these interviews are held online, or if they're very close by, you can physically go and visit them and meet them. And that's how jobs are given out in Europe or even in the US and Canada.
Right. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I think this is all the time we have for today's webinar. So if you have any more inquiries, you can actually email us at admissions@thapar.edu. And for more information, you can visit our website, thapar.edu. The counseling date for the mentioned program is 17th August 2020, which has been already told by Dr. Ajay Batish. So finally, I'd like to conclude by saying thanks to the panelist, Dr. Ajay Batish, the Deputy Director and Dean of Partnership and Accreditation, Dr. Karun Verma, Assistant Professor, CSE Department, and Dr. Vinay Kumar, Associate Professor of the ECE Department for this particular webinar. I'd like to put forward a special thanks to Dr. Maninder Singh, the Head of the Computer Science and Engineering Department, for being a wonderful host. On behalf of Thapar, I'd like to thank all the attendees for making this particular webinar a beautiful success. Therefore, we definitely hope to see you at the counseling on 17th August. And from Thapar, please stay safe and have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Optimize on whatever we can do with the students not coming here. You never know.
Bye, sir.
They may not be able to come for the entire year or for at least this semester, right? So your take that in your department, what
Bye, Maninder, sir.